Living Room Chronicles.
Yes. We got the Living Room Chronicles. Today, Shift Real Talk Tuesdays.
In the Chronicles of the Living Room.
In the Chronicles of the Living Room. Hey, everybody. I'm your girl, Lady Phree.
And I'm your boy, Pastor J.
And we are here in the building. It's a different building, but a building nonetheless.
Well, we are here in our living room.
That's right. That's why
we are in the living room.
That's why it's called Living Room Chronicles.
Listen, y'all, we are here with y'all tonight with another episode of You Asking All These Questions.
Why?
Why
you asking all them questions? Part 2.
Because
last week, usually in relationships, people have a lot of relationship questions that oftentimes they don't ask because they don't know who to ask or they keep it to themselves. So because of that, we had
they don't have nobody to talk to that they can trust, you know?
That's what I said. We say the same thing so differently.
Yes, we do. See, it lines up.
So we had a marriage class.
Crime here.
And in our marriage class, we had a lot of questions that were asked that we didn't get a chance to tackle. So we're going to tackle some questions tonight.
We only really got to like 2 of them last week because the conversation was just so awesome that we didn't even finish. So we said we got to come back to these questions. We got to come back. In the studio or not in the studio, but we thank God that we are able to come and still have this platform.
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
So that's what it is, guys. All right, so let's get into it. I'm looking on my phone so I can see who all chiming in right now. All right, so listen, let us know who you are if you're coming in tonight as a part of the Shift Real Talk family. We just want to know who you are so we can give you a good shout out. Okay?
Well, listen, y'all, before we get started, let's do a couple of house rules, okay? Well, here's the thing. We want you to chime in.
Right.
Oh, and I got some news, y'all. I got some news for y'all.
They do the house rules first.
Be real.
That's it.
Be real.
And we respect each other's opinions on this platform.
Be 100.
It's all about keeping it real.
Chime in and be 100 with your chime.
Right. And just be respectful. All right. So you want to get to the questions? We have questions.
Wait a minute. Lady, why are you rushing me?
I'm not.
She's rushing me today.
I'm not. I promise I'm not.
I'm in the living room. I understand why she's rushing
me. I'm not rushing.
Because you sure rushing me today.
Okay, babe, go ahead.
So listen, y'all. We got a great announcement, y'all. Listen. The Lord has allowed us. She is like breaking my knee. Wow.
If you're chiming in, put your name in the chat so we can give you a good shout out, okay? I have 2 people on right now, but I don't see the names. So, yeah, let's get in it.
Well, listen, y'all. Again, like I was saying, Shift is growing tremendously. It's growing tremendously, and we're thankful for this platform and the influence that God has given us to really help develop marriages, relationships, and we're meeting a lot in family, and we're meeting a lot of people. Just last week alone, man, we've met over about 20 couples that were able to minister to help change their mindsets. So we're going to be bringing this consistently on a consistent basis. We have our own building here in Houston, and we're going to be coming together Sunday evenings, 6 p.m.
So we're going to be bringing this to
we're going to be doing it live and in full effect and in person.
Loving it.
And we're going to be doing this thing, man, and it's going to be so dope that we are excited to bring live.
Okay, good. Now, can we get started? Can we get started?
Okay, let's get started.
Let's get started. Come on. All right, so.
Ooh, I got a question.
He act real different outside the studio.
I got a question.
What?
How do you get your wife to stop rushing you?
It's not possible. Not today.
How?
Not today, Satan. Not today. All right, man, come on, let's get into it. People came to get into these questions.
Yeah, I'm trying to, people, we are on color people time. So some people come in on after.
It don't matter. You do what you got. You do the right thing, regardless of whether anybody's watching.
We did that question last
week. So we start on time.
Yeah.
All right. I'm reaching in our little.
Lord, pray for her.
For what? Why? Why I need prayer all of a sudden?
Ooh, she needs prayer today.
I'm just getting the party started, so let's get into it. All right, what about this one? Did we do this one last week?
Yes, we didn't do that one.
All right, so this is our first question that came from Real Relationships at the Marriage class. All right, here we go. How do you sustain a long, loving relationship with busy lives? How do you sustain a long, loving relationship with busy lives?
Balance. You have to balance the time.
Okay, talk about it.
Yeah, because life be lifing. You know what I'm saying? Life truly be lifing. So you have to learn how to be busy at work and then not be too tired to be busy at home or to be too tired at home. So when you get home, you have to really leave everything. You have to put the phones down. And you have
That's number one. Put the
phones down. You have to balance the time.
Yeah.
Because we do know, time can get away, but you have to learn how to balance life.
And people have to learn to be intentional in their relationships. So if you're intentional, then you already have your mind made up that no matter what, today I'm spending some time with my babe. You have to be intentional about it. It can't just be a thought in the back of your mind. It can't be an afterthought. It can't be a oops, I wanted to. Because to be honest, we all know people make time for what they really want to do.
Yes.
People do.
So you have to balance the time. I mean, because if you wanted to do something, you would do it.
How about this? If you're not around that person often, leave little notes. If you want to be practical, if you want practical answers, leave little notes.
And then everybody want to feel like they matter, they matter.
Absolutely.
So you don't want to feel like someone's not paying you any attention at all.
Yeah.
You want to really feel like in situations that you matter. So it's important that you in the midst of busy, that you take time out to send a little text.
Hey, Kia.
To take time out to send a little, or even, be creative, send flowers, send the I love yous and the send, you just got to be intentional.
And you know what? You have to know that person's love language. If that person's love language is acts of service, then how do you sustain a long, loving relationship with busyness? Do little things to serve them. It's the little things. If their love language is quality time, be intentional about the time that you spend with them. Make sure you don't have your phone in your hand.
She said serve.
Acts of service. If that's your person's love language, do little things like, I did the dishes because I knew when you got home you was going to be tired. Little acts of service.
I thought about that.
What?
I thought about that movie. What was that movie Eddie Murphy was in? Coming to America, and he was getting ready to. He was finding his wife,
right?
And he had the first wife, and she was like, "Whatever you like, my dear."
Not that we're not talking
whatever
about
you
her.
Like, my dear.
Absolutely not.
He said, "Bark like a dog."
That is not an act of service.
A big dog. Woo, woo.
Somebody come get this guy. That is not an act of service.
A big dog,
But
no, the point was she was serving. She was like
that wasn't service, babe.
That wasn't service?
No, sir.
What was
absolutely not. That was humiliation.
No,
there's no way.
It was the king.
No, I don't.
The king of Zamunda.
I don't care. If you my king, and if you ask me to bark like a dog, I'm gonna look at you.
You better bark like a dog.
I'm gonna look at you like a pit bull.
You better bark like a dog.
Absolutely not.
Bark like a dog, baby.
You better get out of here. See,
woo.
People be playing.
Bark like a dog.
See, people be playing. But anyways.
Or purr like a cat. Okay.
Whatever. But listen, learn your person's love language. So you will know, it'll be more bang for the buck. Because now you know that what you're doing is actually speaking to how they feel loved, not how you love, how they feel loved. Okay.
Yes, that's
so
true.
that's how you sustain a long, loving relationship, by learning their love language so that you can speak it as often as you can.
As often as you can.
As often as you can.
And like I said, being balanced, being intentional,
Be intentional.
being intentional, and just, I mean, showing love, man, at all
Show
times.
it.
Showing
Stop
love.
talking about it and be about it.
Showing love.
That's how you sustain.
Go on dates.
And the key word here is sustain.
I mean, I know I have to be honest. I got to do better in the department. I got to start taking her more, because my wife been buying dresses that's sitting in the closet, and she wants to, put these dresses on, and I want to see them.
Well,
so I gotta.
Yeah, I think that's a little little misunderstanding.
What's wrong with going on dates?
I love going on dates, but quality time is my love language, and he knows
that's a quality time.
But for me, quality time is not what you think that would make me feel love. It's the little things. It's like when we having conversation and you're not constantly on your phone playing words with friends. Yeah,
that's true. That makes both of us.
Because that's my love language. So it has to be quality. It's not about the quantity as much as, I'm not saying it's not about how much time we spend together too, but it's not about the quantity as much as it is about how what's the quality of the time we spend together. Mm-hmm. So if that's your person's love language, you have to make sure that you do that thing right. Don't say, well, we be together all the time. Yeah, but it's not quality.
Yes.
Okay.
Question
we have
number
another
2.
question. Question number 2.
How much grace should be given?
How much grace should be given? Well, you want to take that?
I'll let you start it off because I started the last one. But if you want me to take it, I have no problem with taking it.
Okay, take it, and then I'll piggyback off yours.
Well, here's the thing. When it comes to marriage, because there's a difference between marriage and just dating somebody.
Okay.
Because dating, again, we say this all the time, you're just finding out information.
You're finding out about the person.
But when it comes to marriage is holy. It's holy matrimony. Mm-hmm. So there's a level of grace that we have to extend to people who are really getting to where they are learning to be, or they're getting to that place of where they're becoming whole, or they're getting to that place where they're becoming, their self in a marriage, because things change in marriage. You're not no longer, the Bible says leave and cleave.
Right.
So you're coming into being one, and you're coming into this place where you're leaving. And that leaving, that means you're not depending on mama no more. That means you're not depending on daddy no more. That means you're not going into those behaviors that you grew up in when you were a younger person. Now you're this older person in a responsible situation. Right. Yeah. So you have to really learn, and being married and being with another person, I believe, this is a behavior that you learn. This is a whole different avenue of behavior. So I believe grace should be extended. And because the thing is, we go into marriage with an expectation. Right. So I believe if we get rid of the expectation, then we're able to extend grace. And God gives us, and I think we should look at it as how much time God gives us grace. Right. When we turn away from God, when we don't trust Him, when we go into our own level of fears and our own level of mistrust, God gives us grace every single day, morning by morning. New mercies I sing.
Aunt Liza, Mama Pearly chime in. We are asking.
Mama Pearly,
we answering the tough questions.
You are our favorite mother.
We love you so much. We're talking about our the tough questions. The question we're on right now is question number 2, and that's how much grace should be given. So Pastor Jay was answering, and I'm going to piggyback off of him. God says, my grace is sufficient. So there is no insufficient funds in grace. So basically, at the end of the day, he said, when 2 people come together to be married, and this is just marriage. I'm going to talk about singleness as well, because grace needs to be given when you're single too. Because let's just say relationship period. When 2 people from 2 different backgrounds, 2 different upbringings, 2 different relational experiences from past relationships come together, then what happens is Those two people have to learn each other. Those two people have to grow together. And when you marry, those two people become one. That's not a bling magical thing. That's one of those things that you have to learn to become one with that person. And if you don't have grace for the mistakes that they make along the way, you're going to hold on to the mistakes as grudges. And those grudges are going to hurt the relationship going forward. So you have to have, like Aunt Liza say, as much grace as needed. You got to have it. As
much is needed.
You have to have it. Because today,
morning by morning, every day you face a new challenge.
Every day.
Every damn time you wake up, you face a new challenge.
And you got to let it go.
You got to let it go. And
the mistakes they make. I'm going to say this and then I'm going to let you talk. The mistakes that people make when they learn and grow together are not mistakes that need to be held on to, regardless of what the mistake was. You got to let it go and move forward, because those mistakes, holding grudges, keep you bound and keep you back. And nobody want to be stuck.
And two, what we do is we bring our grow up or our childhood experiences into the relationship. So, hey, Darren, love you, man.
Hey, Darren, we love you.
So we bring our childhood experiences into our relationships, and that is a whole nother situation. So we have, like I said earlier, we got to develop just a level of, now this is something new. This is a new relationship. Mm-hmm. This is a new relationship, and not be triggered or let off by something that we went through when we were younger. That would shape us to being who we are supposed to be now.
Shaped us. Think about that.
But now the shape has to now go into it's fruition, or it's like a butterfly being it's like a caterpillar being into a little cocoon. So now it's time the butterfly to come out of the cocoon and now fly, spread the wings and fly.
Some of us keeping our people in the cocoon, and they ready to come out looking like a butterfly, but they don't feel safe coming out.
I like
because that cocoon, because you keeping them stuck back where they was when they was crawling on the ground with all the dirt trying to get somewhere. Let them fly. It's time to let them fly.
What's up, Eric? My boy.
Hey, Eric. And listen,
man, congratulations to you, man. I'm so happy for you, bro.
Me too. I don't know what it is, but if he's happy,
he got married.
Oh, well, congratulations. Good deal. We love that. So listen,
I like what I'm seeing with Aunt Liza and Darren. They on here flirting with each other on here.
See.
That's what's up.
I see.
Tell me God ain't good.
Come on. So listen, this the thing. If your spouse or the person you're dating has made mistakes in the past and you've been together for a minute, you say, well, it's not a new thing no more. But you have to remember, when it was new, if you still keeping in mind things that happened when it was new, when mistakes were supposed to be made as you guys got together, then those are the things you have to say. We can't build this. That can't be the foundation of our relationship.
Understand this. Love holds no record of wrong.
Absolutely none.
It holds no record of wrong. We forget it. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you love, because love covers what? A multitude of sin. So So we have to every day extend God. When we extend love, we extend God.
Yes.
That's why God is the author and the finisher, not only of our faith, but of our situations, of our relationships.
I was about to say that too. We on
our relationships. So he extends it. Yeah.
Our minds together.
He extends himself.
Yes.
So we gotta extend God, because we're created in his image, in the image of love, in the image of God. So,
and we have to remember God is sovereign.
Yeah.
And everything he allows you to go through, he's gonna use it. Either he allowed it or he said, I want
What's
that
up,
to
Marvin?
happen. Hey, Marvin. So listen, if God allowed it, then he's gonna use that as you continue to grow. So take nothing for your journey. Be like, okay, yeah, we went through that, but then start asking God, why did you allow us to go through this? Teach us the lesson that we're supposed to have learned from that, and keep it moving. All right, what's the next question?
Before we get to the next question, while we got y'all chiming in, listen, y'all. Again, Shift Movement has found a building.
We have a building.
We have a building here in the city of Houston, Texas.
Hey.
We will be starting Shift Movement.
Yes.
The ministry.
In-house.
It's
called Shift
on
Movement
Sundays at
Houston.
6 p.m. So if you are in the city of Houston, I promise you, you do not want to miss this experience.
Hey, this is what we do.
This is definitely different.
This is what we do.
But it is changing the mindsets of his people.
We breaking through
some chains,
Ain't
man.
that right on Liza?
We breaking through, man.
We breaking through some stuff.
Next question. Let's go.
As marriage evolves, how do you manage the relationship so that each partner? Oh, we did that already. We did that last week. You got to come. You got to look at last week to get that one. All right. You're going to ask this one. We tackling the tough questions.
We did that one.
Okay.
Hold on. I got you. Sorry. I didn't throw those away.
All right.
Why do you not?
We did that one.
Value my opinion?
Yeah, we did that one. I thought we only did. Those must be the 3 we did.
This is a good question. This is a good one.
Okay. Come on with it.
Should we have combined bank accounts once we get married? You want to start on that? You want me to start?
Okay, so old school me says absolutely yes. Because why you
said old school you?
Because I remember that was something.
Hey Mia.
Because that was
congratulations. That's what's up. Happy anniversary, Pastor Mia. Oh man, y'all should have told. We'll meet y'all out there.
Hey, happy anniversary.
We love you though. Thank you for chiming in and enjoy your husband tonight. That is so much more important.
That's it.
That's
you see how he busted in on me, Marvin?
I'm sorry.
Okay, so that's okay because it was a congratulations to our loved one. All right, so should we have a combined bank account once we get married? So this is what I was taught by my mother and my father, that we should have that. They combine their bank account. So basically what happens is all of the bills come out of the bank account. It's not my money and your money and all of that stuff. So that's what I was raised thinking and believing. But I believe that every relationship is different. Every situation is different. Unfortunately, you have women out there who are married to, or men out there who are married to an irresponsible money person. This person does not understand the value of taking care of the bills first and taking care of responsibilities first, or they may not have the same ideas as to how to handle the money, and that becomes a problem. I still say have at least one bank account together where money goes into that account to pay bills. But at the same time, if you have that extra little bank account on the side, I believe it's okay. I
wanna get to you on your at least, because we don't deal in at least.
At most.
We deal in at most.
My bad.
So we buying at least.
Okay, well, talk to
me. And
Mia,
it is so fine that I'm just so happy you and Edward are in the city of Vegas. And what stays in Vegas, as y'all a married couple, bring it home too. But anyway, back to the question at hand. We love you, Mia. Make sure y'all enjoy yourself. And we love y'all.
Okay.
So I believe that when you separate things, then you allow separation to start separating even more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So once you start saying, I have this and you have that, then now you make it comfortable to go and say, I have this and I have that, not just in the bank account. Right. Then you go to a mine and yours. There is no mine and yours in marriage. There is no mine and yours. There is a oneness. Yes. That's right. That's right.
I love
Eric.
that. Eric says, hold on. Eric says, I don't keep my money separate from my wife. It's divisive.
That's right.
And that's division.
That's right. That's right.
Is division.
You cannot.
I love that.
You cannot have separate accounts as a marriage.
Right.
Now, if you're a single and you're dating, and you don't bring in the marital problems by bringing a oneness together.
Well, that's not a marital problem.
Yeah, you know why it's a marital problem? You know why I make it a marital problem?
Why?
Because you are not married and you're bringing in something that
marital
is
issues.
For married. Yeah, that's for marriages.
Right.
And what you're doing is just jumping the gun, and you're allowing that to now, because being that it's not, and I wouldn't call it a marital issue, but it's something that married people do.
Right.
But you make it a marital issue in a single situation.
Eric says, until you say I do, you don't.
You don't. That's
I love
right.
that, Eric.
You don't. Come
and
on.
Mama Pearlie said it's supposed to be
our bank account.
Bank account. That is correct. It's supposed to be our bank account.
Because again, and here's the thing too: a house divided against itself just cannot stand.
Yeah,
it won't stand. It won't stand.
And we know that a lot of times people have issues in their marriage because of finances. So if that's an issue, then what you do is you talk about that kind of stuff
Robin.
Before you get married. Hey, baby. Hey, Robin. But at the same time, if you didn't talk about it before you got married, and now you're married, what you have to do is face that issue. Face the fact that, okay, why don't we have a bank account together? And whatever the problem is, fix the problem, but don't let it linger and say, well, I'll just do me and you do you. If you don't trust that person with the money or with access to that account, then you're going to have, that has to be something you guys have to work out together and trust God with that. Because like Eric says, that's divisive. That means there's some division that's already started, and it started with your finances, which is big. Yes.
But some men are not responsible with money. That still does not mean that you have separate accounts.
That means
because here's the thing. If you guys talk about finances, if you talk about it, if you come together and you talk about it, because that's what it is. You coming together in agreement. So we agree to make decisions about the finances. It should never be who's more responsible or who's this, or I should gotta watch how you do this, because it's all in agreement. And if we are in agreement, then a lot of things happen in agreement.
And if you're not in agreement, it's not impossible to become two people that know how to deal with financial issues and become in agreement. That's what marriage is about. Two people becoming one means that you have to learn to become one in all things.
So explain what you mean on Liza about it's because of a legal matter.
She said it could become, I think she meant to say it could become a legal matter.
It could,
she said it could because of a legal matter.
Yeah, well, how could, if it's marriage, what's the legal matter?
Yeah, explain that a little bit more, Aunt Liza, about a legal matter.
Yeah, so here, okay, look, we're gonna move on to the next question. This question is awesome.
All right, so the next question is, how do I allow the pain to not keep me from loving when the pain is more predominant than the love? So how do I allow the pain not to keep me from loving?
Ouch.
That's a good one.
Hold
on. Are we going back or are we going to this question?
No, I was just kind of dealing with listening to the
okay,
comments.
Before we move on to this question, Robin's comment, it says, I was told by a married mother who said it should be 3 accounts. Each has their own and one for the house and marriage.
I still don't think that works.
Well, I don't think that this is a law. It should be 3 accounts. But if that's something that works for you, where you know that the household has an account where the money goes into the household, and then you have your husband doesn't mind or your wife doesn't mind, or they have to know about it. Don't keep secrets. It's basically it. But you have that account where you have a little extra money here and there.
But look at this.
Hey, you got an extra account now.
No, but that extra account is still spent on. Here's the thing,
baby. You have an extra account though.
Let me finish. She cut me off. Let me finish. So here's the thing. All of the money is spent where? In the house.
But because
for the house. So whether you have separate money, whether I have separate money, guess where it is spent? In the house.
But
for the house. For the people in the house.
Don't overtalk me. Because the only
way
I know that is because you say it.
Yeah, but I don't know. But I mean, and that's because I have 3. Reason why, because there's certain things that I don't like taking out of the bank account. So I have another account where work money goes into this account. And my wife but it's a business, guess what? For this household.
Right.
Everything we do is for this household.
That's because we trust each other now with our finances. And I know why you have the other one. Who said
Darren?
Darren, you said y'all chill out. Darren, you know this.
Oh, trust her. No, she gonna get it after this.
But anyway, so the thing is, I have an extra account too, but my extra account is for in case of emergencies, and he need that extra little money, I'll come up out of it. Or if we're doing something for the ministry, I save money from my my money. See, there I go with my money. Sorry. Money is saved in the account from the job that I work to put back into the ministry, because the ministry is important to me. So that's like my tithe to the ministry. And it's not my tithe, it's my offering. It's what I desire. So we can do more things, like have the marriage class that we had and different things that we desire to do.
Yeah, because to be honest with you, when we do ministry, we don't charge for it because God gave us the ministry.
Right.
So he provides for it.
Yeah.
We don't even ask people to come and ask for an offering.
And I
had a pastor told me, when you do the thing, ask for an offering. I was like, no,
baby, don't do that.
No, I'm not, because we're not doing this for money. We're not pimping what God does. When God went out, he didn't ask for no money like that.
Actually, he gave.
He gave.
So at the end of the day,
people want to be a blessing. Now we're not gonna stop people from wanting to be a blessing, right, but we're not gonna go and asking for, because God gave us and he supplies us with the means to make sure that we're able to do
and
the
for
ministry.
that I'm grateful. And that's what I was trying to say. For that I'm grateful that I'm able to take money and put it into an account for ministry purposes. So I love that. Anyway, so let's
wait, hold on. Robin said it's absolutely an agreement that worked for them. I think the separate accounts come into play because if I wanted red bottoms or he wanted a roll, it still should be agreed on.
The agreement is there.
Because it's agreed. Look, okay,
you have a separate account, and you got that little bread in that account you was trying to hide from me the other day. But I understand that regardless of what, he takes very good care of the household. That's true, Darren.
There's a difference between between giving and begging.
Yeah,
that's true.
All right, so
listen,
the next
we're gonna deal with this question, y'all. Somebody said, let me read it again. It said, how do I allow the pain to not keep me from loving when the pain is more predominant than the love? Well, I say this. A lot of seeds are sown and a lot of things happen that may cause pain. Now, the thing is, your level of pain may, and where you are hurting at, I believe that because when we leave God out of the situation, because God is the one that deals with our heart. He's the one that heals our heart, and he's the one that deals with our heart. So if we're in the level of pain, that means we have to allow God to deal with that pain. Mm-hmm. And what we do is we put the pressure of somebody who we believe that's supposed to heal us, we put that on people when that job is God's job. So the thing is, when we're able to give, he said, take our burdens to the Lord. To take our burdens to the Lord.
Yeah.
Take them to the Lord, not throw them on somebody else so that they can realize, oh, you hurt me or you did this to me, so I'm feeling some kind of way. And again, what we're doing is we're expecting this person to heal some wounds, and some, believe it or not, a lot of wounds don't come from what this person did. This person only triggered a wound that was already there.
Yeah.
So sometimes our wound comes from other situations. It comes from other things, and we bring these wounds into our marriages and into our relationships, and we expect this person to understand the hurt, and we really and
in the event that you're in a relationship and somebody one of the people that you like, I'm with you, and you did something to cause me pain. In that situation, it's like, wow, now the love that I have for you is being overshadowed by the fact that you continuously do stuff to cause me pain. Mm-hmm. How do I love someone that continuously causes me pain? First of all, you have to be mindful. You have to forgive that person so that you won't carry the weight of that. That's number one. You don't want to carry the weight of that pain. But then you have to be intentional in the way you think about it. The more you look at things, you magnify them. The bigger you magnify, the more you look at things through the magnification of it, then it gets bigger. When pain gets really, really big, then it overshadows the love. But we have to remember, love is the most powerful thing, not pain. But we have to remember we have to remember to look at the love of it. The love is what? God. He said God is love. So if we keep our mind stayed on God and say, God, I'm hurting right now. This is what's happening. Because it's real. The pain is real. But you have to say, God, I need you to help me with this. And the love that he is will not allow pain to be so big.
And that is so true, Robin. We do have to determine the source of the pain. But let's be honest here. A lot of times pain comes from it comes from something that we may have carried, or sometimes it's a lot of, and I know a lot of people,
magnifies the pain.
I know a lot of people get stuck in the very thing that traumatized them. So, and they get stuck at that place of trauma.
Right.
So that trauma is something that they carry into relationships.
Yeah.
So when something triggers that level of that what traumatized us, then what we do is we refer back to that thing, that trauma. So that's why I said a lot of times the pain is not even caused by the person.
Right.
The person just triggered the pain. The person just triggered the trauma.
Right.
And so what so that's why it's so important to not expect this person to heal what we need to take to God. You know what I'm saying?
And sometimes, like they say, perception is reality. Sometimes the way you perceive it and look at the situation can cause it to be more painful and bring in because of the issues that you've dealt with in the past.
Yes.
It causes that pain to be really big.
That's right.
And sometimes very unbearable, because that situation opened up the wound that was already there.
Yeah, you're right, Eric. And Eric said, it's my boy E, man. Man, I love you so much, E, man. It's my boy from Atlanta. He is now in Wisconsin, I believe, Detroit, somewhere. But I'm trying to get him out. Him and his wife are thinking about moving to the city of Texas, man.
Hey.
We would love for you to be a part of the ministry, man.
Absolutely.
Everybody that's connected with us, man, they married or they're getting there.
Yeah.
So God is a lot. Detroit, okay, cool. So
Eric says, and don't bring your past pain onto your present situation. And that has to be something you have to really set your mind not to do, because a lot of times it's not that you want to bring it in, but it's like you did something to trigger what was already there, and it's like you don't even consciously realize how you let it in.
So Elijah said, but where is the love of the other person that keeps doing the same thing? Saying it's not always the action, it's the lies. Elijah, again, that's a whole nother, that pain. Like I said, sometimes we come in with certain issues. We really do. And to be honest with you, we really do. And when you come in with an issue, you come in with a level of protection. So if your protection is to not go through the thing that hurts you, so what you do is what you don't do is create a safe place for communication to go on. So you know what happens? We're not saying it's right, but we're being real here. It's not right. But so what happens is now the person feels like, I can't talk to this person because she's attacking me like I'm the person that, or he is attacking me like I'm the person that hurt them. So what happens is, because now you're being very guarded and you're being very, very dead center on not being hurt. You carry yourself like, oh, that ain't gonna happen to me, or that ain't gonna happen to me, and we don't realize, I'll never let that happen to you. Oh, you ain't gonna lie to me. Oh, you gonna keep doing this. So what we're doing is we're beating up the people who God really placed in our life. No matter whatever the reason is, everybody that comes into our life for a reason. God allows us to cross paths with people for a reason. If there's something that we got to learn from this person, and we miss the whole aspect of why God allows us, because we're carrying what God allows us to get in these situations. Because we carrying our own will or our own level of what we're not going to go through. And this is what we telling God. Oh, God, I ain't going through this. Oh, he ain't going to do this. Oh, he ain't going to do that. And we got to stop that.
And a lot of our pain comes from our a lot of our pain comes from our own insecurities.
Yes. My boy E said deception as protection. Exactly. But here's the thing. Robin said, right, we have pain and trauma
She says we have, okay.
We have pain and trauma, but we accuse those who may trigger it. But they do not know what they have done because we have to make them aware of the trauma. So they do not, that's right. So they don't get triggered.
Wait, let me say that again.
So we got to make them aware of the trauma so say, hey, listen, you know, when I was younger, I was touched inappropriately by my uncle or my aunt.
And that's
touched me inappropriately. So this is why I have issues with being intimate with you right now. You know, at least you put it out there on the table so that now this person could say, hey, okay, I know how to help you through this certain situation.
Well, or that person can say, okay, what can I do to make you feel comfortable while we're in that particular space?
Exactly.
So I like that, Robin, because what you're saying is the pain is there. But at the same time, there is a level of communication that can go forth because sometimes people don't even realize that they stepped on your pinky toe. But your pinky toe was already swole because somebody stepped on it previously. That's my little analogy. So you were already hurting. That person didn't realize that they hurt you on top of the pain you was already feeling. And now you big mad at that person and you can't let it go because you're in pain. But what should happen is, you know, the other day you stepped on my pinky toe. And
my pinky toe.
You stepped on my pinky toe. And it was already sore. You know, having that conversation will help you get past the pain or through the pain and get to a place of healing.
That can be that is so true, Robin. That can be complex because lies could be results of trigger trauma response. That is so true.
Yeah.
And you got to understand the responses because I've dealt with somebody.
Oh, wow. Hold on. I'm sorry. You said lies could be a result. Let me tell you something. You're absolutely right. Because people think the lie is the problem. The lie is just a symptom. Like you said, it could be the result of trauma, a trauma response. Maybe growing up, you couldn't be honest in the house or you to get your lips slapped off. So you lie to keep from getting hurt or beat or in trouble. So that's your trauma response. Your
coping mechanism.
Right. So you learn to lie to keep yourself safe. And now you're in a relationship where you may not feel safe to speak the truth. So you continue on in that same pattern. That could be something as well. So yeah.
Yes. So that's why it's important for us to take our burdens to God.
And I love that Liza says, I'm not speaking of a current state as of today. And that's beautiful.
Oh, we know you're not. We know you ain't.
Yeah, he's not.
We know you ain't.
He's not speaking directly. He's just speaking like in general.
I'm saying in general because this is a common situation. It ain't. Trust me, Liza. We deal with a lot of people who go through that, level of not, dealing with pain and not able to push through the pain to be what they need to be for their to be in relationships. So this is a common.
Happen.
But
you can get past that to get back to the place of love because love is stronger than pain. But if we put more emphasis on pain, we'll never see that strength in the love. All right. So you want to go to the next one?
Yeah.
All right. What is it?
How do you stay aligned in marriage after 7-8 years?
Wait, what?
How do you stay aligned after being married 7 or 8 years?
First of all, get that concept out of your mind that 7 or 8 years, that means you've been with that person so long. And I don't know if that's the concept you have in your mind, but we've been married. We're going on 8 years. And I still feel like it's fresh a lot of times. Why? Because every level that he goes through, like he's growing right in front of my eyes, as well as I am. I'm maturing and growing in a lot of ways right in front of his eyes. So we like new people all the time.
So in other words, to stay aligned in marriage, whether it's 1 year, whether it's 2 years, whether it's 3 years, and you stay in the order that God designed it to be in.
That's alignment.
That is alignment.
That's alignment.
The order is man submit to God.
Yes.
And woman submit to the man. That's submitting to God.
That is submitting to God.
So when you stay in that alignment, you will be aligned.
You will be aligned. Trust.
You will be aligned.
Ain't no wobbly
you
wheels.
Ain't falling out of place.
Baby.
Yeah, you ain't falling.
Ain't no wobbly. And look, ain't no fight to keep the wheels straight. None of that. Yeah. When you in line with God, you got to be in line. Come on. That was good.
Yeah, that's the alignment.
That hit it and quit it right there.
That is the alignment.
There's nothing else to say.
There's nothing else to say other than that.
It's seriously, nothing else to say, buddy.
You gotta stay in alignment.
You gotta stay in alignment.
And you gotta make sure that whatever you do, understand that you gotta stay in alignment with the maker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? God put this thing together.
He put it together so intricately that if you stay in the right order, you will have everything you need. I'm talking about, it's so beautiful how God set this marriage thing up. Okay, Robin, I think she's going back to what we were talking about earlier about pain and love. She says we develop so many coping mechanisms just to survive and be good. But I recently wrote an article about too much of I'm good is not good. We have to allow ourselves to not be okay. We must break so we can heal. And it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to be vulnerable enough to say, hey, I'm not okay.
So Robin, next week, man, we're gonna give you a call later, if not till later on tomorrow. We're gonna bring you on next week, man. We got a show that we're gonna do with the women, man, and I got something to do. So we'll talk to you about that later.
Okay,
Robin.
so
Darren said I had to learn them. Look what Eric put, my boy. What Eric? He said marriage is like going to the gym. Marriage is like going to the gym. You have to put in work every single day, every single week to keep healthy.
Marriage is like going to the gym. You have to be consistent. I'm having a problem with that right now. I want the results, but I have not yet been consistent. In my mind, I want to be consistent, but I haven't put the action in to be consistent. So I understand put in work, but I think we like action better. Put it in application. You have to consistently apply the kingdom principles of marriage.
I believe. See, we call it work, but the thing is,
I knew you was gonna have an issue with work.
No, I'm not. I don't have an issue with work because some people believe that like doing the duties of the marriage and stuff like that is work, or you know what I'm saying. But I understand that. But my thing is this: when there is God who created the institution of marriage.
That's a beautiful thing.
He created the institution of marriage, and he created it for a specific reason.
Right, come on.
He created it for the specific reason. The point is, we take on the job that God said as the creator that he would do. So in other words, even though he gave us the responsibility to carry out our purpose, but when it comes to the work of the marriage, the work is actually, I believe, is the job of God. And the work only comes when there's things that we as human beings can't handle, or we can't take care of,
or don't want to let go of,
or we don't want to let go of. So that's when it becomes a job. But again, that is not our job. That is the job of the one who created the institution, because he created it for a specific reason. So if he created for a specific reason, if it falls out of line, guess what we do? When our car breaks down, we don't do the work to fix the car. We take it to the person who can fix the problem of the car. Who understands the makeup of the car. So we take it to them so that they can do the work.
Right.
So that they can do the job.
Right.
So we are supposed to enjoy the ride. We're supposed to enjoy the results of the work that God puts in to make it to what it's supposed to be, so that we can fulfill purpose.
Right.
Because that's what it's about in marriage. It's fulfilling our purpose, and he's given us a helper to help create the purpose. And anything that comes with the job or the work, we have to give that to the one who's responsible for taking care of that, for the work. Yeah.
Right.
So
we good.
Yeah. So that's just what I believe.
That was good.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I believe that too now. That was good. So at the end of the day, we just have to understand that alignment has everything to do with just being obedient to the principles that were already written in the word of God for you. All you got to do is read them and be obedient, so that your marriage can stay in alignment and it can work for you instead of you working for it. Okay. So
yes, Robin, yes. He said work is not just physical.
So
would that be so would it be work if it's not physical? Or you mean even emotional?
Or is he talking about work is not just sex?
No, I'm saying like would it be work? Would it be work if it's not physical or emotional? Is that considered work?
What do you mean by physical, Eric? Because I'm thinking from my mentality, work is not just
juice,
sex.
y'all.
You love beet juice.
Yeah.
It's good for you though. Anyway, how do you move forward as a union if only one person admits the fault and seeks to improve? Well, how do you know that?
Liza, you want to answer that?
How do you move forward as a union if only one person admits to fault and seeks to improve?
Darren said, hold on, let's go. Darren said, just don't let marriage send you to an institution.
That's a mental thing.
That's a mental.
Don't let it drive you insane.
It's supposed to be good for you.
But God says if you keep your mind on him, he'll keep your heart and your mind in perfect peace. That's the principle.
But listen at this, though. Listen at this. If the bed for marriage is undefiled, what does that mean? It is for your enjoyment. It is for you to prosper and be in good health and have all of the benefits that comes with it. So
all the benefits have come with
that because your body is no longer your own.
Right.
That is a level of enjoyment, not work.
Eric says I wasn't even thinking about sex. LOL. My bad, E. My bad.
So how do you move forward as a union if only one person admits to fault and seeks to improve?
You keep being who you are, being true to you. And that's one thing he and I were talking about the other day. He called me out the blue one day and he says to me, babe, I really appreciate you. And I'm like, okay, tell me why, because I always want to know why, right? So he told me because you've been consistent. He said your consistent walk as a Christian helped me to get where I need to get to. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
So the thing is, it was plenty of times where as he was growing into who God is called him to be, I was consistent, even though I at times, you want to say, well, shoot, if you're doing this, then I'm not. But at the same time, though, I remember the time when he came to me that first time and said, babe, I'm sorry. Because he would never apologize about certain things. It was like he never felt like he did anything wrong. I'm not saying that's what he felt, but that's the way it felt to me. Because he would never apologize for anything he did wrong. So at the end of the day, I stayed consistent and true to me. I'm going to forgive you. I'm going to keep it funky. I'm going to say what I have to say and try to say it in the best way I can. And if I realize that I may have hurt your feelings, I'm going to try to correct myself. And, because my desire is not to hurt. And at the end of the day, my consistency brought him to a point where he started basically, I'm not saying copying me, but I mean.
So in other words, all it takes is one.
All it takes is one. I love that.
All it takes is one. It takes one dedicated person to making it work.
Somebody has to be the example.
Somebody has to be the example and somebody has to set the tone. So if one person is making it work and doing what they have to do and getting direction from God, because the scripture said that a sanctified wife will sanctify her what?
Whole house.
Her whole household.
And he also said, the scripture also, the word of God teaches us that when a woman's mouth is shut, she can move him by shutting your mouth and not always having to be combative and tell him, well, you didn't say this and you didn't do this and why I'm out. Sometimes shut the thing up and pray in your secret place.
So
that
Eric
works.
Said, Liza said we have to.
Liza says, well, you have to go back to the word and come into agreement with it. Come on, Liza. I'm sorry, I got excited. And talk to someone who can give you godly advice.
That's right.
Liza, you better come on here. You better come on here. That was beautiful.
Eric said.
Darren says,
no,
my wife is my
Eric.
example. I was gonna go back because we was talking about Aunt Liza, so we gotta put Darren in, which is her husband. He says, my wife is my example, but I am stuck in my own way. And that's so transparent, Darren. I love that. Now that you own that, sell it and stop being stuck in your own way. Amen.
What's up, Chris? The burdens is on.
Hey. We love y'all so much.
Y'all, man. We got to get y'all here.
Welcome in. Eric said,
as an individual, you have to vet a mate to see if they're capable of admitting fault, and that is not always something verbal.
When you say vet a mate to see if they're capable of admitting fault, what does that mean? Break it down for people like me, layman's terms. Okay.
Communication is a key to healthy relationships and marriage. Yes, it is.
Communication.
It's the key, definitely, man. Admission of fault can be submission to the truth. Got you.
Okay. All right. We get that.
Yes.
All right. Robin says,
yes, instead of going at your spouse, go to God and pray about everything. That's
about
right.
everything.
That's right. And true. And here's the thing too. A lot of us look for, and this is where we go wrong. I think this is a level of where we go wrong.
Okay.
Because we look for our mates to admit when they're wrong. And it's like, and I think a lot of times we use that in our situations, because if they ever go wrong again, then we'll remember. So we kind of go back to
that. That's our way of putting our guard up.
Yeah, putting our guard up.
Hurting us again.
So it's not. I don't believe it's about coming to a level of admitting when you're wrong. I just think there's a level of coming to an understanding. Because if you understand where I am and I understand where you are, then guess what? It's not about being wrong. It's about connecting to what's right.
And you know what? And what's right is, like he said, being in alignment with God. Because check it out. If I'm forcing you to admit your fault and you're not going to do it, now we arguing and you always acting like it's just me, then what's happening is nothing is getting settled. I don't need you to admit your fault. If I know you did something wrong, why do I have to make you fess up to it, especially when I know that that's not the place you're in? Because maybe, just maybe, I haven't given you a place to place your fault safely. Because if I know that I'm going to get ate alive, fussed at, or it's going to get thrown back in my face every time a new situation come up, I may not be so willing to confess my faults, because that means I have to give you the intimate parts of me, intimacy, and I may not trust you to give you that.
Look what Aunt Liza put. She said, "You really helped me with my mindset. Thank you so much."
Aunt Liza,
hey sis, that. My sister is on. Ashley,
hey, Ash.
My baby girl. I love you so much, sis. And tell my boy I love him too. My fellow Cowboy fan.
Hey. So how do you move forward as a union if only one person admits to fault and seeks to improve? You keep being who you are consistently. But the thing about it is you cannot consistently be that if that's not who you are. That means you also have a fault.
Hey, Ashley, let us know. We got y'all when y'all come out here, for real.
Okay, so
and we're going to invite y'all. So listen, y'all, we have
one more question, and we only have 2 more minutes.
So remember, you guys, on Lives and them, we want y'all to come to the service on Sunday at 6 p.m. It's 13700
Veterans Memorial
Parkway.
We're gonna send you. I'm gonna give you the information on Liza, because I know y'all always gonna be in the house. So I'm definitely gonna give you the information. The last question is, this kind of sort of goes with the other one we talked about. How do I deal with lying in the marriage?
Ooh.
Like Robin said earlier, lying could be that trauma response. That response where I know if I tell the truth, I'm gonna get beat over the head by words and all that stuff, even though what I did should warrant some negative response or hurtful, let me say painful response. I don't want to face that coming up out of your mouth because life and death lies in the power of your tongue. So I may not be comfortable telling the truth. And some people have some people compulsive liars, and that's just how they are.
How do you deal with lying
in your marriage?
I don't think you do. I don't think you deal with it.
What do you do?
Because again, I really believe that this is, lying comes from somewhere. And I think we have to really understand the root of it.
It's a symptom.
It's a symptom of something. Lying is the result of something. It's the result of bad communication. It's a result of toxicness. It's a result of trauma responses.
It's a result of your protection sometimes.
Yeah, so we got to really understand. I just think if we take the time to understand where it comes from and why it is going on,
got to get to the root.
Then we'll understand why it's going on, and you won't have to deal with it when you come. Again, like I said, it's all about coming to an understanding. Mm-hmm. And a lot of our issues come when we're trying to force our understanding or our mindsets on somebody else without understanding each other. When we don't understand each other, we bring up lies. We bring up not being able to communicate. We deal with certain things that is just not going to be conducive to coming together. And these are the tools. And we got to remember this, y'all. Let's go scripture here. I'm gonna read your
Yeah, we got a couple of comments on that, but go ahead and go scripture. Then we can read the comments.
We got to understand this. In the Garden of Eden, right? When Eve was deceived, remember this: the serpent was not. When we hear about the serpent, we think the serpent was this snake that he looked like or a devil with his 2 horns in his head. But the serpent was actually maybe a man that was well dressed. You know what I'm saying? He could have been a woman that was well dressed.
Explain it to me like how you explain it.
I'm saying, but in the Greek, let me finish.
Okay.
In the Greek word for serpent means shining. Shining. So that means it wasn't a devil in the blue dress.
Shine bright like a diamond.
He was shining. So the point was, and remember this: the Garden of Eden was beautiful.
Beautiful.
Everything in the garden, even the tree that God told them not to eat from, was beautiful.
Beautiful.
So do you understand? Somebody who does not look like a devil came and influenced somebody with something that was looking good. Something. So in other words, what I'm saying is, I'm using that to say that a lot of times we are deceived and we are tricked by certain things that look good to us. And what looks good to us? Certain things that
shining.
Yeah, certain things that are very appealing. Right. Very appealing. That looks good to us. We can be fooled and tricked by things that look good to us.
Right.
So if we don't put the time in to understand when we are being tricked, when we are being bamboozled, when we are being hoodwinked, and how we are being hoodwinked by our own level of thinking sometimes. Sometimes our own level of thinking can hoodwink us into being tricked.
Okay, let's go to some of these questions real quick. We have to be quick about this.
The better question is...
Robin says, again, safe space to allow the truth to be spoken without, judgment or rebuttal.
Yes.
Without it. Can you make that safe space for a liar? Even though you know they're going to lie. And then listen to it and say, okay, God, talk to them because they mouth bad. All right. Ashley says, what you do that for?
Oh, no, I just had all of that. I wouldn't finish what I was saying.
Oh,
but
my bad.
No.
No.
Okay. The better question is, she just cut me. I was making a good point. It was about to get good, but it's cool. The better question is, why do you deal with it? Why do you deal with it? Because a thing.
Call a thing a thing.
And hold the person accountable, not in contempt. Okay.
Hold them accountable, don't hold them in contempt. Okay. So basically you're saying call out the lie. Is that what you're saying, Ashley?
Yeah.
Call it out. But even if you call it out, that's not always it's not always gonna result in them telling the truth. Actually, the only way to And the antidote for a lie is truth. And the word of God is truth. Everything else is facts. So, I mean, hey, find something in the word to help you combat lying tongues.
Yes. Selfish mentality, Elijah said. Robert said, the liar was attractive.
Oh, the liar was glittering, glistening.
I was trying to get to my time, and she just
cut
me off. I forgot where I was at.
Okay, you were saying that sometimes you gotta know.
No, the whole point is there's certain. Yeah, the whole point is a lot of times we got to understand. Sometimes the people, even the people that we with, can be used. They can be used to really throw us off, or they can be used to really deceive us to eat of a tree that God told us not to eat from. So that's why it's so important that we understand our purpose for why we are in marriage, our purpose of why we are in relationship, our purpose of why we are even here. Right. And when we understand that purpose, then we can hold people, like Ashley said, now you can be accountable. Because what God did was he gave Adam responsibility. Now, a lot of times when we're given responsibility and we see the outcome, then we are at our best. We are at our best functionality because it was a garden. All he had to do was tend to it. Yeah. It was beautiful. But when we are given responsibility like Moses to deliver the people out of Egypt, and we have now he told Moses to deliver the people out of Egypt. Now that is a big feat because guess what? Now you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to be the outcome. So a lot of times we get deceived or we feel inadequate about something of responsibility that God has given us in something that we don't even know what's going to be the outcome of it. Mm-hmm. So we don't operate at our full capacity because we don't know the outcome. And you know what causes us not to operate our full capacities? Because some insecurities or some things that we may lack in our own. Mm-hmm. We may have a stuttering problem. We may have
Moses had it.
Yeah, we may have a problem of making decisions.
Moses had
so it. We may have a problem of moving forward or having these really mental collapses. And these are the things that causes us to not be totally honest because we don't know the outcome.
And you know what? You and Aunt Liza in my conversation, because we just talked about this today. Ashley says, when your partner lies to you, it makes the space unsafe. It makes tension. Your job is to pray and set your atmosphere in peace, and then address the lie, call it out, and then listen to their response. If they continue to lie about the lie, and we know that happens, she says, talk to that lying spirit. I stop addressing the person and start addressing that spirit, and pray in the spirit while you're speaking. It will show. Come on, Ashley. She took us to a different realm right then. She took us to the spiritual realm. She said, stop trying to address that person and talk to that lying spirit. God says we have the legal right in heaven to call that thing out. We can do that. That's the power that he has given to us. So, guys,
Mama Pearlie said, a good subject to discuss in the future is how do you handle drugs in a marriage when you find out your mate is using?
Oh, that is good, Mama Pearlie.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
We're gonna note that.
Yeah, we're gonna note that. Duly noted. That's a good topic to talk about. And to be honest with you, that's something that I dealt with. I was a heavy weed smoker.
Saying. I didn't want to. Yeah.
We keep it real.
I dealt with it too, though.
I dealt with smoking weed heavily.
And I was afraid. We going into a whole other
weed topic. It's still a drug. Weed is a drug.
But we were addicted. People say, we were addicted to everything that weed had to offer. And I was so afraid I would never stop. But thank you, God.
And to be honest with you, like I said, that's why I went to Moses, like why he did certain things because, or why he didn't even move because of inadequacies. And I was that tricked in my mind where I thought the weed would help me be more adequate than I felt about myself. Ooh. So it helped me I felt that's the trick that the enemy was talking. Right. And he used something again that was so beautiful to me. It was beautiful.
A bag of dirt.
A bag of dirt that I was smoking, and he felt and he used it. It was so beautiful. Like, oh man, I'm feeling this way. I got courage now. Right. I can talk how I need to talk. Right. I can be this authoritative person if I'm out of my mind and I'm not in my head thinking. Yeah. I'm not thinking about what I can't do. I'm not thinking about, it was controlling. And I felt it was giving me confidence. And but it wasn't. I felt my performance was going to be better.
I delivered.
Not knowing that I was caught up in
a spirit.
Yeah.
That had us tricked. It was shiny, guys. It was shiny.
So, yeah, Ashley,
but we'll be continued on that
Ashley,
subject.
We'll be
Call
there
Ashley, baby. It's okay. Go ahead.
We'll be there in April, Ashley. so we're gonna get the date, but y'all are coming here first. Hopefully, the next couple of weeks, you're gonna get y'all with this married family that we got out here.
Yeah.
And y'all gonna love them, man, because they good people.
Yeah, we have a little marriage club.
Yeah, we got a little marriage club.
We can come together as married couples, hang out together.
We want you to come to the service.
See how you just interrupted me?
I'm sorry.
Okay. So basically it's that thing where we have married couples to hang out with. It's about 10 couples. We get together, we talk to each other, we encourage each other, we uplift each other. That's the marriage club. So we working that out too.
I wasn't rambling, I know my wife cut me off, and I was about to get somewhere. I was trying to set the table, and she cut me off the reason. But it's all good because I love my baby. I
get it from you.
But yes, Robin, I've been delivered. You know, it's so crazy because God was always sending us people. He was preparing me, and he would be sending us people to counsel. And I remember one day, man, I was trying to call myself counseling somebody, and I was high as a kite. And I didn't know what I was saying, and I felt so bad.
Yeah, that happened.
And it was
That's
like you never know
when
you're going to be put in a position to be used by God.
Yeah.
So that means I have to, Jesse, my fleshly desire has to die.
I didn't know that
because I knew, it happened to me. Because they come to me all the time. Hey, bro, I want you to be a mentor. Hey, man, I want you to do this for me. Hey, man, I need somebody to talk to.
Right.
And I see how many people are being delivered from your ministry. And when I say delivered, I mean mindset change.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mindset.
Right.
And I see people being delivered, and it's like, yo, man, I want you to do this for me. And it's like, I was high, and I didn't know what to say to this dude.
Because when you high, you think you're real righteous. You think you're saying something.
I thought I was talking in confidence, and I didn't know. I didn't even remember what I was saying because I talked to him the next day, and he was like, "Yeah, you remember when you said that?" I was like, "I did."
And then
that was embarrassing.
And then you make up. Well, when the Holy Spirit move on me, I don't be doing what I be saying.
I was like, no, that I wasn't doubt. Okay, but then I said, you know what, Lord, I gotta stop because I never know. You never know when you'll be put in a position to be used.
Never know.
And and God can use whoever. But the point is, I don't want to be in a whole nother mindset.
Right.
Because God gives you what to say, and you don't want to be coming from your level of intellect. Because that's what happens when you on a drug.
Okay, so that's another podcast.
Wow.
All right. Robin says she remember praying and smoking.
Either.
Yeah,
I
praying and smoking.
That's right.
Reading the Bible, talking about I got a better revelation.
Yeah, a better revelation, man. Yeah.
There's a spirit that comes with any kind of drug, alcohol, any of it. It's a spirit that's attached.
Robin, we're gonna call you later, man.
All right.
Gonna call you later.
So y'all listen.
I understand. I had to change my mindset because I have people coming to me for. That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right. You gotta make sure. Yeah, Eric, man, got you. Yeah, man, I gotta get down there with. That's right, E. You gotta come, man. E, man, we gotta get you down here, bro.
Yeah,
man, God is doing. Man, we gotta meet the wife, and man, God is doing some things down here, man. And He's helping. He's allowing us to start ministry. We're starting this week. This week, I wanted to push it to the first so that we can have time to get in the streets and tell people what we doing and get But he's already.
God. That ain't God, because people saying, well, where can we go? We talk to people, they say, well, where can we go? And it's like, well, we're going to start in April. And then I told Jesse that because the Holy Spirit came to me in his word and said, if you have a neighbor who come to you and asking for bread and you send them away and you have what they need, and you say, well, Godspeed, I pray that God get you the bread, but you have bread, then you're wrong. So because we had the building already and we have the okay to go ahead and go for it, why wait till April when God says that the people say they're hungry now?
Elijah said, and today was breakthrough too.
It was breakthrough Tuesday. Come on.
So this is what I need you to do, Elijah. Breakthrough tonight.
Breakthrough.
tonight.
Everything that you
candlelight dinner.
Everything you say you own,
make him feel like a king.
I own, sell it.
Make him feel like a king.
No more ownership.
Yeah.
Sell it.
Make him feel like a king.
Make him feel like a king.
Make him feel like a king tonight.
Yes, God.
Yes. You clap on, clap off.
Hey.
But listen,
Robin,
y'all.
thank you so
much.
Robin,
we're going to call you.
To God for sure.
Yes, Robin, we're going to call you because I want to bring you on the show next week. You and Allie will be back. We're not in the studio tonight.
I thought next week was our special guest.
I'm waiting for the special guest to return my calls.
Okay.
So until then, we got to keep moving forward.
But we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
and let's go ahead and y'all listen. As always, time flies when you're having a great conversation. So we've answered all the questions. If you have any more questions, feel free to send your questions in the comments.
One day at a time. No, this is the day at a time.
Y'all listen.
She said one day at a time. This is the day. This is the day that the Lord have made. I will rejoice and be glad. Be glad in it now. Come on. This is the day. Candlelight dinner. Clap on and clap it off, girl. That's right. Make him feel like a king today. We'll talk later. We ain't gonna put it.
All right, so.
But listen,
ready,
some of the people that we answered the questions wasn't on tonight, but I'm sure they're gonna watch because I'm gonna make sure I send them this clip so they can watch that. We did answer the questions. But listen, y'all, listen, again, we want to say this, we want to say this, we want to say this. God has allowed us to take our ministry live and in person and in living colors.
Mama Pearly.
Yes, we get ready to say goodbye to everybody.
I keep saying
we love you guys.
We love y'all.
We love you guys.
That's
and
right.
now unto him who was able to keep us from falling.
Thank you,
and
Lord.
to present our bodies faultless in the presence of his glory. In Jesus' name we pray.
Until next week.
With exceeding joy.
Until next week.
Hey, Kimmy.
Hey, Kim. That's my cousin. Hey, Kim.
Love you too.
Until next week, same time, same place. We're going to be back in the studio. Thank you for joining us on Shift Real Talk Tuesday.
Living Room Chronicles.
Lady Phree.
And I'm your boy, Pastor J.
Until next time.
Deuces.
Peace.